we will witness. And these are your lineups and the route. But for the meantime, let's take it over to our casters.
Welcome to
RSG
Mobile
PH
Legends.
match point, bringing in a little bit of the spice. Phoveus is in the land of Dawn. Game 2, facing off against TNC Pro Team.
Man, you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there for all my Gord mains. When you saw Phoveus' new portrait, it kind of looks like Gord a little bit. You know, I don't know if they're going to be eventually related, but hey, he's bringing him to the field. I think Phoveus in general, what I've seen competitively, he can still be that nuisance, right? Now they've changed things a little bit around with him. That tweak a little bit, even with his ultimate Infernal Pursuit now here. But still, it's going to work good against this lineup, I think. It's another front line that they can utilize, especially with Light. And so far, man, Jawhead 2 has been making waves, you know, for a lot of teams.
I'll call it a frontline asterisk because he's not as sustainable unless he's actively engaging.
Yeah.
Right? Here's a quick look at the rest of the emblem sets. It's a couple of war cries for TNC, and a majority of RSG rocking the Impure Rage. So this shows that TNC, they want to come in bursts. They want to come in and go off of their initiative, while RSG, I think they want to make these fights last a while. Look at this. See, TNC not even entertaining the idea that we're going to go in early because they need to wait for those spikes.
I'm already a little worried, though, man, too, for TNC because Jushin been picked up here. Obviously, we know already, if you've been watching the competitive scene, how crazy she can be, especially early on.
She got unlocked.
As soon as she did. She started making waves. So, hold on. Top side's going to be the wave there as ZYZ will pick up a kill. They try to replicate it in the mid lane. They should be able to get an Irad, though. Couldn't find the connection. It ends up getting outplayed. And they find a couple kills on Aqua as well. I don't know, man. That was a blunder from RSG.
That was not worth it at all. No matter how you slice it, they traded 3 for 1, and the one they got was a roamer. A roamer, Joseph, a roamer!
Not worth right now.
Not at all.
Kosei, okay, he's going to be fine. Doesn't have the level 4 yet, so he's already kind of struggling here, of course, against that typical matchup you see with so much, Roger and Harith. But right now, the Roger pulling through. Turtle's going to be up here. Escalera will go ahead and start it up. Light trying to get that level 4 as well. He needs that unstoppable force. Now he has it.
He's good.
See if they had actually able to get some control around the objective here.
All right, the only real thing that RSG can hold on for going into the post-laning phase is at least Nibor didn't get beat down.
Yeah.
A Phoveus that can't join fights, a Phoveus that isn't ready just yet, is one of the saddest things you could get. Like, I played a couple of Phovei in my day. Oh!
There he is right there. They're going to force the initiation.
Bang!
Tons of health bars will go
Bang!
down, but the Nether
Bang!
Realm plays into the beacon as hatred will fall. Phantom Execution of the Thorn Rose, though. He's trying to pick up the kill, and finally Irad will pick it up. That's 2 fall for TNC.
Oh!
RSG looking for more, though. Toss him over the head. Escalera could be in trouble here. Can't flap away from that. That's already a triple in the hands of Irad, and it looks like that's going to be the turtle as well.
Then the mechanic gets away with it. 2 up top. Kosei versus Kozin.
Wow.
And it's as if the first 3 for 1 did not happen at all. Joseph, Irad got away with a triple.
And a sliver of health.
And a turtle.
And a turtle.
All that.
That's like someone walking up and just taking everything from you and walking away.
I'll take a number 5 large for a penny. Thanks.
There's a discount today, right?
There's a little something for you too. What? All right. RSG, the pendulum swinging back and forth. Now the Raiders are in control. TNC looking at the items so far. Who's in again? Now this time TNC can start counting their blessings.
Yeah.
At least Kozin didn't die. At least he wasn't part of that hubbub.
That's probably the comms after all that. Hey, at least Kozin didn't die. Because if he did, and we saw that happening over here in the top side, that would have been even more disastrous for TNC. So hopefully that's a reality check for them at this point, because with that swing going in far of RSG, I mean, it's nothing major in terms of economy when you look at the numbers, but that momentum, that swing in their favor, and the power spikes that this lineup can have is the problem here for TNC.
Which is what we initially said anyways. RSG have the early to mid, and then once TNC can figure out how they can get better pickoffs off of the Divine Judgment, off of these hard lean-in Nether Realms, then that's when they win. But that whole scuffle in mid, the only reason that happened is because RSG went in too deep under a tier 1 at minute 0.
At minute 0. little far too zealous in the early part. And so for TNC, I mean, knowing how this last, couple minutes have gone, you can see they kind of take a step back a little bit. Like, let's slow down, farm up what we need, slow it down, and then get in position for the next objective.
But what makes that dangerous, what makes that a less ideal approach is Nibor is slowly ramping up. This is a scaling XP lane. We don't get to see that as often anymore. And look at this. As long as somebody dashes, as long as somebody triggers the Infernal Pursuit,
he's happy.
He's fine. I should choose my words. He's happy.
He's happy.
Because he's also rocking Vengeance.
I was going to say.
He would be okay with, like, heads and SD going on him.
Yeah.
He can just click the Vengeance and just start pursuing them infernally.
Yeah. and at that point, you don't have anything of it to do but to just kind of watch the Phoveus in the airtime. And that's already an objective once again here. RSG will go ahead and secure that one. There's really, at this point for TNC, it's kind of like, how do we get into these team fights or skirmishes? How do we utilize what we have here too? Oh. And some of it, at this point, you picked up the Hayabusa for a reason. You've got the Kaji. You got to play around it. Might be in the mid lane right now. Fighting it forward. Beacon versus the Netherrealm. All coming to head here as Light's going to be the one to fall in under the turret. They get brought in with a wave as they go in with the Infernal Pursuit. Nibor still looking for more, possibly, but he might get cut off from his team. Pops the Vengeance. Pops the Infernal Pursuit. What is that? Nibor still alive against it all in between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 turret. Irad, does he actually pick up the kill? No, Heads is going to be fine, but man, talk about Nibor on this Phoveus.
He's like a 5-year-old hopped up on Nesquik on a trampoline. You see how much he jumped and saved himself in that last minute, that last second. Vengeance kept him alive to trigger another one, and I'd reckon there was a Brave Smite trigger there as well.
There was some Brave Smite there, definitely.
Unstoppable Force!
Unstoppable Force, tossing up Escalera. He'll pop the Flicker. They're going to try to get him off here. Heads, though. They can't pick up the kill they're looking for, but they might stay up top.
And they're still going. Kusei, Synchrovision coming in. And the dash. And look at the back line. Aqua coming through, looking for one.
Okay, Heads goes in. Final Slash finds two, but they pop the Netherrealm already into the Beacon too, forcing them off the turret. I don't even think they want to fight here. RSG just wants the objective, and they're going to choke out nearly everything from TNC.
I can smell the awkward discipline that TNC have to pull out of nowhere because they can't dash.
Yeah.
Like, they have to choose how they use their mobility spells so that Nibor don't jump on them.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to paint a picture in my head what awkward discipline looks like.
I can't press this button. I can't do this.
I can't do this.
Stick to me. Just go. Stick to me is even a bad idea.
Yeah, it is.
Because Infernal Pursuit's gonna jump on all of y'all.
And that's what's tough. And again, why almost in a way it's like Phoveus just is this pseudo tank almost. Like, because of the threat that he has, you have no option but either to face it or retreat from him.
Which makes the choice, which makes the fourth pick on red side all the more a stroke of genius, because look at TNC's lineup, Joseph. There's no real burst. Like, unless you hit him with a suppress, unless you hit him with a Divine Judgment. I don't know who that young lady was on screen, but
she's absent, by the way. This one right here.
Loving the beautiful faces, loving the couples in the stadium. But what I was saying is, there's no real punishment for Phoveus.
Yeah, there isn't.
Nibor can just dive in and like, do what you will, man.
Oh, that's us.
That's us. I love it. Again, this is the Infinite Zone, really up close and personal with our teams, our players on stage.
I think even the audience is wondering the same thing. How do you deal with the Phoveus? They might even start to pick them up in their own games because of what they're seeing here.
I'll tell you what the answer is. As long as you're in the latter half of the draft or you see 3 or 4 heroes from your opponent's side, there's no burst, and there's a lot of dash, pick the Phoveus.
Pick the Phoveus.
And pick Vengeance.
It's crazy, man. Like, again, going back to that fight in between the two turrets in the mid lane.
Don't pick Flame Shot.
Yeah, don't. Get that Vengeance, have that Brave Smite, and it looks like we're going back into the game.
All right, here we go. And luckily, it was not mid-fight. Luckily, it was not during a pivotal moment. And we have the final turtle spawning. We see Irad coming up close. And yeah, no, TNC understands the situation now. They know that what happened in the mid-game ramp-up was devastating, and we need to recalibrate, find another go. And luckily, they have the Kaja. Luckily, they have the Arlet. So big swings in fights are very much possible.
I think the fact that they even just kind of clearing these waves here, I know they just use a final slash, but I'm not sure, like, do they not want to fight the First Lord? Would they rather kind of temper it off and wait? But
yes,
I know it's going to be back up here in just a second, but RSG's going to go ahead and start up the Lord already.
Lord here, approaching half health. That is Nibor on the scene, pushing through 4, and he jumps up.
Once again, there it is, onward into the throw. His head's going to be the one to fall. Can't even use the final slash for the fight, because again, the stall work is there from RSG. Objective secured. They might force a fight here once again around the buff too. See if SD can actually still grab that. A whole lot of members of RSG waiting on this side of the jungle.
Not exactly sure what the best case scenario TNC was looking for was, because it resulted in heads rolling.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't according to plan, and I'm still wondering what the plan was, right?
Exactly.
Like, you're down 4K, 5K. You know that your front line isn't complete. Who was the best case scenario to get hit with a Divine Judgment? Nibor alone, single-handedly, can force so much from TNC. I'd reckon it's best for TNC to just stay inside their base for now. Close that gap, and then maybe get to the 13-14-minute mark, then we can talk.
That's why I was saying, I almost thought that was the plan. Like, I know they used the final slash to clear some of the mid waves before that Lord was taken, so I'm thinking, all right.
That should have been it.
TNC's like, all right, we're just going to wait, because we obviously need way more time to build up here, because, you know, even looking at the items, they're not there yet. They're not tanky enough even to deal with just Nibor over here aside from them.
Yep, all the more looking at Nibor, who just picked up a casual Dreadnought armor, a War Axe, and a Thunderbelt. So he's got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? Like every time he just hits someone with an enhanced attack, he's just going to get all the more chunkier, which I think now TNC got the idea right. They're making themselves scarce.
Yeah.
They're hiding themselves from this Phobius. They're hiding themselves from RSG because they know that RSG wants to go hunting.
Man, it's just, again, the Jawhead's doing such a great job too here. It's just, the Unstoppable Force with the Injector alone is just, it's like an Edith. You know, it might be a little more finesse to use it if you want to land on the right target,
TikTok
but
plays.
yeah, it's pretty much, you know, we've seen it time and time again in the hands of Light here, doing amazing things for these, starting these team fights up.
Yep, if you'll throw back to as early as 2021, right?
Yeah,
Season
2021.
7, Season 8, he would play the Jawhead like a madman.
Yeah.
But now it seems a little nostalgic as we reminisce on older days in 2024. 10 minutes and 45 seconds in. I'd say TNC's doing the right thing, right? Stay inside your base, maybe get onto buffs that you can.
Yeah.
What little of the jungle and the waves that RSG will allow for you to get. But I can see how maybe frustration will start building. You know, like you're impatient and you're playing a Kaja. You want to find kills.
Your whole job is to get the pick off, right? But even, let's say you get the pick off, who is it most likely going to be? Probably Nibor. Like, he's going to be the front line guy for the most part, and maybe Light. But even if you get the Divine Judgment on the right target, does TNC have enough in the tank to get the kill and then turn things over?
Which all the more allows for us to peek into the psyche of RSG. Joseph, you see how none of them picked up Purify?
None of them. They don't.
So all of them have this confidence and trust that you're not gonna catch me.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick fights better than you, and you're not gonna catch me. We're gonna be on the. This is all in aggression. And now they're going straight for the Lord. TNC now, I think this is what we were looking for about 2 minutes ago. Not to touch it at all.
Yeah, and I think RSG again, knowing that TNC's kind of on the fence of should they actually contest or not. RSG is known to punish. I mean, look at this massive gold lead that they've gotten themselves now at this point. And so for TNC, you know, it's literally bringing a water gun to this gunfight here. If they actually try to contest this, I don't think there's any business dealing with it. So it looks like that's going to happen as RSG takes this Lord, secures up here. And so for TNC, it's buckling down at this point, you know, hoping that, all right, can we withstand this eventual push from the Lord? You can see them, you know, SD is going to go up top, try to push in some of that wave a little bit, put some pressure somewhere, but I don't think even that is really going to prep them up for that forced siege coming out from RSG. The forced raiders, you know, the raiders coming into the base, that's what they're so good at.
They're going to pillage.
Yep.
They're going to raid and pillage.
They got Ragnar Lothbrok over there.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know which one it is, but they all are.
There's a couple, like there's the Vikings and the last king. Regardless, 13 minutes in, and I would wager we're losing at least 1 or 2 inhibitors.
Yeah.
But luckily, TNC has good wave clear. I'm going to choose my words here, Joseph. Good. Because all they need is Hatred to Ghost Bursters in, and then they win the fight from there. I don't know, man. They could lose right here and now.
They could definitely lose. You're going to lose that mid-base turret. RSG now setting their sights on the top. Might be going for a fully exposed base here. Nibor also picks up the winner's crown. They might want to force this fight here. They're going to try to clear out the Lord, even though it takes a couple of shots. And now, once again, Winner's crown's actually going to be popped quite early.
Mid-air.
A little bit of a distraction, too. Half health on the base. RSG, what do they want? Do they still want to go for the turret? It looks like they're going to plant themselves between the team here.
Oh.
There's Light once again with a flicker in. Toss them over the head. They get the Nether Realm out too. And SD has to run away. Multiple flickers going to be popped in the base at already half health. They'll secure this series with a sweep for RSG.
The Raiders get their first point in Season 14. Playing their game, picking their spots, and getting a sweep over TNC.
Again, amazing performance there. RSG flipping things in their favor from game 1 to game 2, utilizing the lineup they had, and just TNC left kind of wondering what happened, almost like whiplash for them, especially there in that game 2.
It seemed like TNC took pointers from game 1 and tried to employ them at match point when RSG knew exactly what was going on. Like, that was shades of what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the Kaja and the Haya.
Yep. But it just didn't work the same.
I would love to pick Wolf's brain here, but then again, our well wishes go out to TNC, to the whole of Phoenix Army. They're still winless in Season 14.
Still winless. Again, you know, every week, every match, you got to go back to the drawing board, whether you win or lose, honestly. That's how you adjust from time to time.
And here they take their bow. GG, well played, TNC Pro Team. We hope to see you bounce back sooner than later. But you know what they say, it's only rise. They just keep coming and coming and coming.
Yep, only rise. On the other hand, like you said, RSG will go ahead and secure themselves that first point for the series here. For the season, actually, so great for them.
In just a bit, we'll throw over to the stage with our winners, RSG Philippines, with the lovely Maracino.
All right, everybody, let me hear it from you. GG! GG RSG, congratulations! Irad, great Hayabusa nung game number 1. Pagdating ng game number 2, actually, you know what? Hindi namin na-expect na magla-Lancelot ka because may mga viable assassins na available like Julian. Yung iba, baka matakot sila mag-Lancelot sa meta ngayon. How about you? Bakit hindi ka takot mag-Lancelot?
Madali lang naman po eh.
Madali lang. What was the Lancelot pick? Kasi available yung Julian.
Siguro po sa draft din po namin kasi mage na po yung gilid namin. Tapos kailangan po ng physical. And ayun po, mas maganda po yung Lancelot kasi po mas marami pong dash and may mga dodge skills po siya na pwedeng madash po yung ulti ng Kaja, ganun.
Sana makita ka namin na mag-Lancelot more. And maybe, alam mo naman kung sino nang sinasabi nila na #1 ng Lancelot, baka ikaw ang mas magaling sa kanya eventually. At naman, para naman to kay Nibor. Nibor, how is it coming to MPL Season 14 for the first time?
Masaya po.
Hindi ka ba nape-pressure because you know what? You have big shoes to fill. Filling in the shoes of Nat. So how is that like? Hindi ka ba nape-pressure doon?
Hindi po, confident po ako sa sarili ko.
Ay, confident. May payo bang binigay si Nat sa'yo?
Opo.
Ano sabi niya?
Ano daw po, lakasan ko lang.
At malakas ka naman. Congratulations. Ito naman para kay Coach Panda. Coach Panda, how would you rate your team's performance comparing week 1 to your first match ngayong week 2?
Siguro 7 out of 10. Medyo mataas din. I'm trying to be positive this season kesa sobrang strict. So I'll try to smile more. So, okay naman. Lalo kay Nibor. It was a really big pressure for Nibor to fill in the shoes of Nats. Pero the thing is, he really worked hard. Tapos may tiwala ko talaga kay Nibor.